YouTube, welcome back to another layout update. So, yeah, first off, sorry it's been so long, just, a couple things got in the way as far as life goes. But anyways, back again. So, a couple things to show you. As soon as this train passes, we'll get into it. Okay, so first thing off, I'm going to try to remember everything, but let's see how this goes. First thing off, you notice right here, we've got some electrical outlets. We started running the 120 volt line along the bottom of the layout, and all the power pack, the command station, all the power supplies will plug into this when I get it run the entire way eventually. But the way I got set up here is this one is layout power, and then these two boxes, one box controls the lighting for staging level, and their box controls the lighting for this level. So you can see the edge of the light right there. But that's what those will go. That's what those will be for. So the idea is, if I want to just run trains, I can come in here and just flick it up, turn it on, down to turn it off. Or if I want to come in here and just turn the lights on to work on the layout, I can come in, flick it, and turn the lights on and not turn everything else on with it. So that's what's going on there. Another exciting announcement is, if you come over here, you can get a better view of it. But we have the first round of track work on the expansion, so I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about that. I've got it glued down. I got the turnouts all lined up, and if I can get this tablet to where you can look down the track alignment, you can see it's pretty straight, honestly. So I'm proud of that. Really proud of how that turned out. They're not wired yet, but as you can see, I'm using them for car storage. These will eventually come down to the end of this section. It'll get rebuilt a bit. Take that corner up there and have it slope like that, so that'll get rebuilt, but that's a later project. So other thing, pull it back out real quick. As you can see, I got trains running. So Viola, there it is, my Digitrack Zephyr Extra. So I've got throttle plugged into one of the Loconet ports, the other Loconet port. This cord here runs back over to the laptop, and then on the back I've got my mainline programming track, and I got a little piece of flex right there that I'm using for my programming track. So it's a mess. Their project I have in the works is I'm building basically a two-level shelf thing. I'm going to have vertical one-bys coming down from the bottom of the layout, and I'm going to have a frame on those, and then a little shelf that'll just pull out. So I'll have one for my Zephyr and one for my MRC power pack. And then I'll eventually take one of the tracks up here on the layout and turn it into a longer dual use programming track / yard track or something. I don't know what yet. So I'll have those two, and then the power pack, of course, might also feed some of the lighting. But I'll have that, and then it'll have either on it or on the fascia. It'll give me a place to put some Atlas connectors to turn the building lights on and off, so I'll have some incentive to start that project. But so that's what's going on there. Next thing up, as you can see, doing a little bit more work on the fascia. I've got that section mounted, it's screwed in. And what I've done is I came back and I marked the outline of the river on these. So tomorrow's Saturday, I'm gonna hang out for a while, and then hopefully I'll get out there with the skill with the oh, I forgot the blade name of the saw. Jigsaw. Hopefully I'll get out there with the jigsaw and we'll get this trimmed, and I can come back in, get some sculpting mode, you know, filling all these gaps. Touch up everything with some paint, get the fascia sprayed a nice flat black, and start working on river scenery all up through there. So that's that. Now next thing up, I already saw the sections, but I do want to point out I've got the sub-roadbed laid from over here, and that ace is sitting where roughly where I'll have a locomotive shed. But so got the sub-roadbed from there, got all the way over, and over here, and it stops right there. I could have gone farther, but that section's got a warp, and I got to get that tweaked out somehow. So that's what's going on with that. I did come back and I drew the track lines in there. I marked the beginning of the curve over here. I marked it, and then I drew the center line all the way back to the other one. I did allow for easements, by the way. And then I just drew this so I'd know how many tracks I could get in, and so I could figure out how to line up the turnouts. And what I found out was originally I was going to have standard, you know, left hand, right hand, and then have it curve. Well, what I find out, and this is the benefit of drawing it, by drawing it on the plywood, you find out your curve's way too close to the edge of the piece of wood. So, fortunately, that let me know, so I'm going to have a left hand and a left hand. This will go to the second track, and then the other one will branch off, go through a bit of an S curve. And I won't have to worry about the track getting wobbling out of alignment either direction on there. This staging yard, unlike the other one, will not be movable. I went through the trains I'm going to need, and the trains I'll run in the session. And for a yard that pulls out, I should have more than enough capacity for everything. For all trains, they'll get adjusted mid-session or need fiddling. The ones that are going over here are going to be the ones that don't have any fiddling once they go into staging, like a coal drag from Logan to Toledo, or through freights that drop off a cut of cars in Logan. Something like that. Trains that don't require a lot of reworking. The ones that do, like River Subdivision, the Monday Creek and New Straitsville mine runs will be worked over in the other staging yard. So that's what this is for. And the other benefit of drawing this and actually placing the turnouts, well, you can see I've got my frame, I've got my riser, and I've got my sub-roadbed. So I was able to go, like say for instance, I can put the turnout right there, and then by noting where the rod comes, I can get under here and I can make sure it's not going to interfere with any of my risers. So I know I'll have clearance to put switch machines and tortoises and all the wiring that goes with it. And I got the drill trying to unwarp some of this. So that is it as far as the layout. The next thing, if we notice the first car in the train here, I just finished weathering this. Come on, get in the picture. Okay, we'll go over here. So, I think it looks pretty good. I went back and got the wheel sets and couplers all rusted out, painted the trucks, weathered the car, so it's all looking pretty good. So last three things for this update. I'll come over here. First up, we got an F7B. It's rather heavy, and that's because I've got a TCS Wow Diesel in there. I haven't put the speaker on yet, that's coming up next, but I got it in, it runs. I got to do some programming, speed match it with those two A units, and then I'll have an ABA set. And that's just my plans. I know from testing on a club layout that with the 2% grade, which is approximately what I'll have, one F unit will probably pull 5 cars. It'll probably pull more, but I don't want to put so much torque behind it strips out the motor. So I'm going to play it safe and go with 5 cars. So 5 to get 2 units will be 10 cars. That's about my average train length. So those 2 to pull the cars, and then another unit to worry about the grade, because a 2% grade takes away half of a locomotive's pulling power. In real life, on model railroads, it takes closer to 3/4. So, so I'll run them in ABA sets, and then the B unit will have sound, so you'll have sound in them. So that's that. Just the bathroom B unit. I do intend to do a video on how I hardwire my decoders at some point. Now that I've got the process streamlined, I'll probably show it when I go back and rework my Union Pacific F7s. I didn't write. There are just a couple of modifications with the actual pickup mechanism itself and the actual frame that I didn't do. So, but I'll show that. Next thing up is this. You've never seen this, but this is the, well, I'm going to call pause here and we'll resume in a minute.